Good morning. This is Charity with Muriel Joy Gifts and Arts, and I wanted to do a quick flip through of the very first junk journal that I ever made. I was so inspired by the Junk Journal Junkies group that I'm in on Facebook, and I decided to sit down and give it a whirl. This was the first one that I ever actually made. It has 6 signatures and was made out of a macaroni box, and I hand tied all of the signatures and put a little few charms from some vintage jewelry that had been taken apart. This is actually a leather brooch. It's a pin, so I pinned it and glued it, and then I used this lace to wrap around and keep it closed, because this is actually quite a chunky book. So I used a beautiful handmade paper. I covered the macaroni box with white cardstock first so I wouldn't see the print, and it would make these areas of this paper show up more. So this is the inside. I covered the inside of the cover with just more handmade papers and some pretty botanical pictures from a book. I love greeting cards, and I found this one at Goodwill. There was only one card in the box, but since I have a black cat, I thought this would be perfect for me, and it's actually a little tuck spot. This book is filled with book pages and scrapbook papers. This is blank. I'm intending to put a picture of some snowmen that my daughter made when it snowed. And these are snowflakes that my son made, and so I glued those in there, and then I'll put the picture as well. Some really pretty papers in here. This is a graphic from the Graphics Berry. I just happened to have it printed out, so I added it. I really like the French language. So again, lots of book paper, lots of writing space, and I tried to pick some that were interesting. Some of the pages have this vellum paper, and so I stitched around all the edges to make a pocket. Some of these are a little hard to get into, but I wanted to be able to see the pretty papers inside. I also glued tags to make little sticky out areas. What's this called? A tab, I guess. Next time I would have probably spaced these tabs out down the book instead of keeping them all in the top. But I did do that with the vellum pockets. There's another one. Has a little floral card in. This is a graphic from the Graphics Berry. I don't normally print things out. I like to use all my vintage papers, but I already had that printed, so I stuck it in there. Again, a whole lot of paper, some more pretty paper. This is a pocket. It actually needs to be re-glued at the bottom. And this is a mini journal I made. I had a book from the 50s called The Gypsy Queen's Vow. And so I just made a little tiny journal there to add in this pocket. I thought that was fun. You can see the back side of the card. I like to keep the backs of the cards visible that I use so I know where they came from. And then that's also a tuck spot. I thought this was just a pretty page. It's not a pocket or anything. I just wanted to do some decorating. But this is a pocket, and it actually has a little doily flap, just a little card in there. So again, a lot of space with papers and places to write. There's a little clearance sticker still on the back of that one. Another vellum bag. This one I used sort of a birthday design with a card in case I wanted to preserve, say, a birthday party for the kids. This is, I just cut out some really pretty pictures. This was actually a piece of scrapbook paper that had decorations around the edges. So I just kind of glued them in there, creating more writing space. Here's another one of those pockets with a big tag in there. Again, tons of space. This is a big book. Another pocket with a little card. I got these cards and all the little tags from a shop on Etsy, and I honestly can't remember it, so I'll have to look it up and post it in the description. But I bought them about a year ago, and I'm finally using them. I thought this paper was really fun, and you can sort of see through it. There's another area that I sort of decorated, but it does actually fold out and has a pocket because it's an envelope if you want to stash something in there. Another little pocket with a tag. Lots of pretty papers again. Trying to get to all the fancy elements to show those. There's another pocket with a tag. I tried to use a lot of papers that I personally thought would be interesting. I wanted to bring more color into the book than just the yellow and the green. This is actually the center of one of the signatures. I thought it was really pretty. I believe I printed this out from the Graphics Fairy. And this is actually a double pocket across here. So there's lots of little papers and tags in here that can be used throughout the book. More pretty green paper. This is just a holder for a bunch of different tags if I want to use them somewhere in the book in the future. Another little pocket. This one turned out a little big, but I like the color and it fit with the card. Another piece of that pretty paper there, and another image from the Graphics Fairy. Again, I don't like to print out things. I like to use what I have, but they were already printed. Here is another little tiny book. Sometimes when I make these little books, I will use a stapler in the center to keep it together, and then I just glue a little paper to bind it and cover up the outside staple. So I can put that in there. A lot more paper. This was a pretty piece of stationery, and I wanted to preserve it as a whole piece. So I created a fold out with some of that vellum paper, and there's another little book in there that was made from some of the paper on the cover. Sometimes they're hard to put in there. I like little hanging pieces, but that does fold out and fold back in with some effort. Another pocket with some cards. I tried to put a lot of little tuck spots and just areas. Here is another little booklet that I made with little pages. Again, it's got a little binding on it. This is another pretty piece of stationery that I had. So again, I created a fold out. This is actually a double tuck in here, if I can even get it out. It's got some vellum, so there's a card there. And then in here, I made another little book. This, I did not cover the staple, so you can see it, but there's two pockets there, and then it folds up. So I want to put some secret writing, I can. Again, lots of information, lots of pockets. I can fill this up. Lots of little books. I don't know. I was really having fun with the little books. Sometimes I make mistakes. And like here, I tore through the paper. So I just glued that tag there to cover it up. I don't know. I was doing some kind of funky folding and gluing. I don't know what happened. But I did make another little book to put in there. I got tons of these stuck all over in here. This is the inside of another signature. I thought that was so sweet. So again, I made some tuck spots with little papers in there. Big book, isn't it? Again, another card that I can flip out. This is some pretty paper with another little card. I put a little pull tag. This is actually another little mini journal. Ooh, I'm bumping the camera. Oh my gosh, look at that. I try to stop it and I make it worse. So I just had so much fun with those little books in there. Here's another greeting card I only had one of. This was a black cat. I currently have a black cat, so I had to include it. I thought it was just really pretty. And it's a pocket, so I can put papers in there. I'm almost getting the hiccups. Sorry, guys. And, you know, winter cold. Here's another tuck spot. My name is Charity. I thought that looked like a big C. I think that's supposed to be a big C. And again, it's got another one of these little booklets that I just put together and stuck in there for myself. I haven't actually written in this at all. I'm almost too afraid to. But I did put in some fun papers from books and dictionaries, and I just think it brings a lot of fun to it. This was a really pretty handmade paper. Sorry, I'm still bumping. And I wanted to put a little bit of that Gypsy Queen's Vow book in here again, and an envelope with a little card in there. The center of this signature has a doily, and I don't remember if I ripped that or if I just wanted that, but I put that there. Another vellum page with a little tag and a card. This is such a pretty paper over here. So much writing space. I really like it. This is a big pocket on the back with another one of these little mini journals inside. And I'm almost to the end. So you can see I can still embellish this. I can write all over it. I can do a whole lot with this book. And then when I got to the end, there's the back side of that second black cat card, and I put some more papers in here, and then this is the back cover. And I have not put my normal sticker in this book yet because this one's for me. I don't know where I'll put it, but that's my very first junk journal ever. I hand tie my signatures because I'm just not good at the sewing of them, and I think it still turns out well. Sometimes it pulls up a little bit at the bottom, but I think it looks nice. I used alternating colors and then braided the 3 sections. This is a little leaf. Sorry for my terribly dirty fingernails. And this was from some vintage jewelry. So that is the very first junk journal that I ever created. I think it turned out amazing. And I'm going to try and start making more videos of the other things I create, especially once I start putting them in my Etsy shop. So let me know about it, hit subscribe, and keep watching for more videos. Have a great day.